but just repeated plot kind of thing.
Disposable female character.
Well,
Uh, so trip through a historical city.
yep.
Yeah,
It's funny because you talk about the disposable female. It's like reading the jacket, and it's like, oh, Professor Langdon is going to encounter another like hot female curator of this museum, and I'm like, geez, man, wow.
his novels will be so good if they just had some continuity to them. Really.
Mm, yeah, I mean, I'm reading it out like it's like the Indiana Jones book movies. I'm not sure if you remember the Indiana Jones movie series. For the most part, the stories are fairly disjointed in that like it's a disposable female character. Something cool happens, and it's pretty much repeated kind of stuff. It's just that it's basically the whip.
Well, yeah, it was why they were able to make the last one with so many years in between.
Yeah.
You didn't have to actually know the lore beforehand because it was just another movie. All right, let's get started.
All right.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 3cast for November 17th, 2017. We're almost done with this year, Vince. That's crazy.
I know, I know. What are the chances we're gonna have an entire two shows or something with all three of us, man?
Well, we'll at least have one because I know we have one noontime show if
Yeah,
Ricky doesn't back out.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see.
Yep.
I don't think we're gonna get to play a game this year, Vince.
No, no. Damn it.
Well, just getting all three of us together is really hard. Playing it with two people is just not.
That's what happens when you get old, man. That's what happens when you get old.
Yeah, and Ricky had to have children. All right, so here's what I want to start out. So tonight we're gonna preview some upcoming movies, video games, books, things like that. Just because we didn't have another topic. There's an upcoming movie I'm not looking forward to. I just want to read the description. It has Matt Damon in it. The name of the what'd you say, Vince?
He's still making movies?
He is apparently, but he's in a movie called Downsizing. Here's the blurb about the film: a social satire in which a guy realizes he would have a better life if only he were to shrink himself. Yeah, they're making Honey, I Shrunk the Kids again, only he's shrinking himself.
Well, yeah, like, is it making it so that it's miniature, like Smurf size, or is it like that it's like microbe size?
That's literally the only thing I know about the movie. I just found the synopsis or whatever hilarious.
Oh.
It must. I mean, it used to be Matt Damon was like a highly paid actor, right?
He still is,
Like,
man.
well, there's no way that's a high budget film. I mean, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. I'm looking through some of these movies that are coming out in the next 2 months, and I think what happened is that Star Wars sucked the life out of everything else. Because obviously Star Wars comes out on December 15th, right?
Right, yeah.
And between now and the end of the year, there ain't crap. I mean, all right.
Justice League.
Point in case, Jumanji's coming out in December.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be a blockbuster too. Like they got The Rock behind it, and like who's the director?
I love Robin Williams to death. I mean, he's hilarious, but that movie he was in, the first one was terrible. There's no way this remake is any good. No way. I mean, I'd put. Yeah, it's gonna be terrible. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I'm going to say that it's actually going to do fairly well. From what I understand, the whole premise is that instead of like a board game, they've updated it so it's a video game, and that's why you got characters like The Rock and whoever the female character is, and Jack Black. So I can kind of see it working out.
Oh, it has Jack Black in it. You've turned my whole conception around of this movie. I have to go see it. I'm going to stand in line now. That was sarcasm.
By the way. Yeah, I was going to say. Oh, but like, I mean,
Jack Black hasn't done a single good movie ever.
Let me think.
Oh, he was in Tropic Thunder. How could I forget?
Yeah, exactly. Or how about even King Kong? I was gonna say King Kong isn't bad.
He was in that crappy romance novel or movie that my mom likes watching around Christmas time with Cameron Diaz and Jude Law. Really like switch boyfriends or houses or something. I don't know what the hell it's about. I just see it on TV 4 or 5 times during Christmas.
Do not even know about that movie.
Yeah. Well, good. That's so good for you, Vince. All right, so excuse me. Why don't you give us a movie that you're looking forward to in the coming months?
Oh, gee, this thing called Star Wars.
I should have known. What's this? Is this a standalone or is this part of
Yeah,
the?
it's
Uh,
it's part of the new trilogy. It's the second one in the new trilogy. So you may recall a couple years back, Force Awakens came out. So it was like the first one the first movie since like Return of the Jedi and the whole kind of story arc of things. This is actually interesting because it was a bit of a gamble. Believe it or not, the original Force Awakens, Disney had bought Lucasfilm and including Star Wars, and it was a huge gamble for $4 billion. Disney really had to get its money back, and they got J.J. Abrams to make The Force Awakens, and it ended up becoming like one of the biggest movies of all time. Now, the thing is that I'm not sure if you have seen the headlines, Matt, but did you know that Disney has now actually put all the movie theaters that's dispensing with the movie, the Last Jedi, the one that's coming out in a month. They basically said you're going to give us 65% of the profits, and for those of you guys that don't comply with certain things, we'll also punish you or penalize you with a 5% charge just to show the movie, right? So this is incredible, given that most of the times I gather that most movie theaters would show a movie and get a certain. So, say for example, whether it's like Harry Potter or some other big franchise, they would still have the movie displayed or shown in the theater, and like the movie theater would chip in like I don't know, like 10% or something, or 15% to the actual Universal or whatever. This time around, Disney has said nope. Star Wars, if you're going to show our movie because we know that it's a good movie, or at least that we know that people are going to see it, you're going to give us. It's going to be basically you're going to give us 65% of the profits. This is unheard of, and that's Disney just trying to go. We're going to capitalize on our expense for the $4 billion purchase of Disney.
aren't the movie theaters like going out of business already, anyways?
Yeah, which is really strange. So it's not like it's Avatar or something like that where there's a huge like need to actually see it in the theater. So I just found that like Disney is really killing it in terms of making money because they know it's like drugs, right? Like they got like all these Star Trek geeks that Star Wars geeks, sorry, that are really like hardcore and going to watch it no matter what. Like it's guaranteed money. And
Well,
on
all
top of
they're
that,
going to do is cause the movie theaters to charge more, right?
I don't know if they can. That's the thing. I don't see anyone posting up, oh man, Star Wars tickets cost like $6 more than a normal movie. It's going to be the same price, and I think it's going to still be the same kind of IMAX and regular kind of D box kind of movie options. And basically the movie theaters are just going to be kind of capitalizing on the sheer volume, I guess. So even though the profits are going to be minimal, they're just going to bank on the fact that every theater is going to have like X thousand people seeing it per day. So
They'll raise the price of popcorn by like 50 cents or something. That's
yeah,
where they'll make their money back.
that's pretty much what concessions are for, right? So yeah,
That's why when you go to a movie theater, you always want to bring a woman with a purse, and then you just put your candy and popcorn and stuff in her purse, and then you can ditch her. She can go watch her girly movies. That's exactly how, and now you know why I've never had a date. All right, so I've been trying to go through and look and find a movie that I'm actually excited about coming up, and I'm really not finding one, which is hilarious.
no, how about like the Infinity War, or Black Panther, or there's a couple of movies that are around the corner that could be interesting.
All right, so there's personally for me, no, I really haven't found one that I've really. But I'm looking through some of these. There was let's see, I found one that I was going to mention, but IMDb is running so slowly. Liam Neeson is coming out with another Liam Neeson movie.
Is it is it another? Oh, you've abducted my child, and I'm going to find you.
No, thankfully his child is safe. She won't get abducted a fourth time. No, but this is probably along a similar vein. Apparently, he's coming home from work and he gets involved in some criminal conspiracy or something. I don't know. It's called Commuter. Has
Are you serious?
It has Sam Neill in it.
Oh, so it's gonna be like Jurassic Park meets. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, oh, Den of Thieves is also coming. It's supposed to be pretty good. I
What's
like.
Den of Thieves?
It's a bank heist movie.
Oh, okay. I don't know, man. There's still some really good movies still around the corner, and to continue the talk we had about last week. I mean, like I just started talking about Black Panther and Infinity War series, but then also don't forget like other movies like the Deadpool sequel is going to come out, and we all talked about the ad a while ago.
When does that
The
come out,
Ant-Man.
Vince?
Well, I don't know, but I just know that they've already come out with the teaser trailers and stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the summer. I
Yeah,
don't know myself, but
probably gonna be like May or something, right?
yeah, but like I mean, I don't know if it's going to come out exactly uh, around the beginning of the summer, but like I think maybe later because no one's going to live very well in the shadow of the summer launch of like the Avengers Infinity War, right? Um, we also know that the New Mutants movie is going to come out, which has been kind of quiet. I actually saw the trailer just like maybe last week about the New Mutants, and it comes across as a horror movie. I swear to God, I thought the New Mutants movie trailer, it was like, oh my God, that's a. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a cool new like reboot of the X-Men, and then I was like, no man, they make it look like a horror movie, and then there's also gonna be um, I think the Incredibles is also going to come out. So there's a whole bunch of like franchises going to come out. Not to mention other summer block. Like I'm just thinking about the summer blockbusters. I think we're scheduled for another Jurassic Park movie. Um,
They're rebooting Tomb Raider.
oh well, yeah, they're doing is that coming out this year?
April, early April.
Okay, so that movie it's based pretty much on the Tomb Raider origins, like the video game, the Rise of the Tomb Raider or whatever. I think that's going to be interesting, but I'm not sure how much milk they can get out of that because I think Tomb Raider is kind of dated now, isn't it? I mean, like I
Well, I think that's why they did an entirely new cast. So the girl's Croft is played by a new girl.
yeah.
If they tried to shovel in what's her face, Angelina Jolie, is that her?
No, that'd be like the senior citizen home Tomb Raider,
Well,
man.
I feel like the red version. Um, so so also a movie that's been planned forever. Super Troopers 2 is coming out.
Super Troopers. I don't even remember Super Troopers 1.
Oh man, you gotta watch that movie. It's hilarious.
Wait. What was that movie,
It's
man?
it's stupid humor though.
I don't.
Slapstick cop comedy kind of thing. It's like Comedy Central
Okay, I don't remember seeing this.
kind of thing. Yeah, it's really kind of funny. I haven't watched it in years. I'm gonna have to watch it again. But I know they were always talking about making a sequel, but now it looks like they are in April.
Hmm.
I'll probably watch that. I mean, it's not all right. So it's not anywhere near. It can never be in a million years classified as intelligent humor. It's like it's very crude, but it's funny. Uh,
Like life of me, I don't even remember Super Troopers. Like that's the thing I don't get. Like I
I'm
don't even.
totally passed you by. It wasn't like a blockbuster or anything, but it has a very cult following because they always show it on like Comedy Central late at night.
Okay. So it's like one of those TV spin-off things.
No, it was an actual movie, but I don't. It may. I. It didn't stay in theaters for very long, and it was just
Hmm.
something that Comedy Central could play for cheap. So Infinity War comes out in May.
Yeah.
So that would put probably Deadpool somewhere.
I don't know if it would come like if I
So
recall.
wait, the Han Solo movie also comes out in May.
Yeah, that one I do know. But I'm not. See, the thing is, I'm not really hyped for that yet because I haven't seen any movie trailers for it, and secondly, if anything, I know more about the back of house, like the behind the scenes thing, where like they dumped the directors and the screenwriters. Like the stories that the producers or directors were the two guys that did the Lego movie, right?
Right. So now
And
then they brought in Ron
uh,
Howard, right?
yeah, they brought it back. But that's like that to me that has kind of overshadowed the whole entire premise of the Star Wars, movie itself. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of split on this, and everyone loves Han Solo. I was never a big fan of Han Solo. Like he was the cynical guy in the Star Wars series, I'm a little bit more attuned to the whole good and bad kind of thing, and to me it seems like a tangential kind of discussion. So
All right, for
not
me,
hyped.
yeah, for me, the biggest problem is going to be uh the casting, I think. Because you're gonna have to have someone who kind of fits the mold of how God, I'm having trouble. Harrison,
Mm.
what's his first name, Vince?
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. Good Lord. Totally flooded. Anyways, I mean, so the guy they have playing Han Solo is Alden Heinrich?
Oh, Ehrenreich. Ehrenreich.
Ehrenreich, okay.
Ehrenreich. Yeah, and the thing is, I have an issue with that too because this movie is supposed to be an origin story, but it pretty much builds up to the fact that I think in the original Star Wars, where Harrison Ford is supposed to be like all of like 30 something years old, this is supposed to be basically the build up to him. And Ehrenreich, despite his whatever acting pedigree he might have, he does not look like Han Solo. So the thing is,
No, it'd be like trying to do a prequel uh, backstory for Christopher Walken or um, uh, Willem Dafoe. I mean, they just have that. They have that one.
That's like 50 years old. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, and it's they have a certain way of talking, and they look a certain way, and they act a certain way, and it's really hard to make them younger again and find somebody who has the same speech patterns and things like that. It's really gonna throw me off if I ever watch that. Granted, it's a Star Wars movie, so I don't really have to worry about it.
Then it becomes more of like oh look, they're doing an interesting take on Harrison Ford, or it's like, oh, I get it. Like it's not going to be anything close to, oh, this is actually something I can digest as like if it was like 20 years before the Star Wars movie, maybe you can go, yeah, I'm missing out in 20 years, he'll grow into that face or something. But this pretty much ends like all of 2 years before the original Star Wars happened. So I think that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
In any event, you're talking back to the 2018 movies. There's a whole bunch of again. I was talking about the whole onset of trailers and franchises and sequels. Like I was looking at more of the hallowed kind of superhero sagas, right? Like everything from not only Black Panther, Justice, Infinity War, but then there's also the Ant-Man, we talked about Deadpool, we talked about Aquaman is coming out, the potential of I think Venom, the spinoff or the setup from the Spider-Man movie. So there's so many new or at least new movies that are coming out that are based on franchises, and then I think we could go to town on just and bemoan the fact that just like video game industry, the movie industry is also relying solely on its kind of flagship franchises and sequels. If you don't find
Things they've
anything
done
that's a sequel,
before. Yeah.
yeah, like there are very rarely individual new IPs that kind of break it into the top 10 any given year. Like I mean, look at I'm looking at just a quick sampling, like 50 Shades of Grey sequel, Deadpool sequel, Aquaman's derivative of Justice League, Venom's a derivative, Tomb Raider is a bit of a franchise, Maze Runner, Pacific Rim, Mission Impossible. Oh, forgot Mission Impossible's coming out again. Wreck-It Ralph 2, Fantastic Beasts, and the Harry Potter sequel thing.
They're redoing. They're rebooting the Ocean 11 franchise, Vince.
I don't understand. Is rebooting it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. So there's some connection between because like that Matt Damon's going to be in it.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's like going to be his daughter, Danny Ocean's daughter. But so it's going to
Really?
be like the head. Like yeah, it's going to be a woman named Debbie Ocean.
Dude, I'm just looking at the thing
By,
right now. It's all women. Dude, it's just a women version of Ocean's 11. Sandra Bullock leading Kate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, Helena Bonham Carter, Rihanna. Jeez, man, they can't stop that girl from pretending to act. Wow.
yeah, like
Ugh.
so like it looks like the only one from the originals is going to be Matt Damon. Well, yeah, because they were going to make a fourth one of those with like the original cast, but then Bernie Mac died.
Yeah, that's a yeah. Okay, but I mean they could replace it. It's sad to say, but like I mean I found that A, he wasn't a very prominent character given the kind of suite of people that they had on that series. And
Right.
secondly, look at what was it? Terrence Howard and how they replaced him with Don Cheadle and like yeah, no one noticed the difference
Nobody
apparently.
cared. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed, but I didn't care. I mean, it was just yeah, I better not say that out loud. Um, I was gonna say something terrible. All right. Anyways, Deadpool comes out June 1st of next year, and then June 22nd there is going to be another Jurassic Park
Yeah.
movie.
And the Transformers movie. Wow, cool.
Apparently Jeff Goldblum is broke and he'll do anything again. I mean,
Yep, that sounds about right. Oh,
come on, man. You see, Jeff Goldblum used to be such a good actor, and then it's just like as you get older, you decide you're going to do some commercials, and then you want to get back into movies, and because you want to get back into movies, you have to do what you already know. So you just in movies that are terrible. I mean, over and over again. I refuse to watch another Jurassic Park movie.
hey, but movie that
Lost World. I think the second one, Lost World, was the last one I actually watched. No,
yeah,
no, I
but
watched Jurassic Park 3 with when they brought back Sam Neill.
oh yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah. Yeah.
that was terrible. It was god awful.
You know what, I really had kind of high hopes for the most recent one that came out when there was doing the, like you know the reboot of sorts for the Jurassic series. I'm not really confident that the that this is actually that going to be that great. I think people are just nostalgic to see dinosaurs. That's all. If you think
But
if
it's like
you
Independence Day. You know, people just want to see more aliens.
but you can see aliens in a lot better way. In the last, let's be honest here, the last Independence Day kind of just flopped hard. And the other thing is that when you look at
Not
the
a Jeff Goldblum movie.
yeah, yeah, but the Jurassic series, I mean, it really is all about the special effects, and I think they're going to be hard pressed to kind of make a good story. It's going to be received really well from a special effects side, but I don't think people are going to really care about it. But I want to
They
talk
really
about
need to make it. They need to bring in Michael Bay and more explosions and shit. That'd be great.
yeah, but dinosaurs don't really explode very well, so you know it won't be that great.
It gets messy.
Um, I do have a question because I think this is something that's important. I just saw this and I was like, wow, hey, this is something that we would both watch. The Equalizer 2. Denzel is coming back for The Equalizer. That is crazy. I didn't know this.
Huh.
So
I
it'll be
can't.
again.
The,
Denzel plays the angry, vengeful black man that will kill everybody.
was
The black Liam Neeson.
we watched The Equalizer as one of our movies, didn't we?
I believe so, but I'm watching. I remember watching it, going, "Hey, you know, it's Man on Fire meets Home Depot," and and then now it's like Equalizer 2 is coming back, and it's like, wow,
Yeah, I remember that he works at like a home improvement store or whatever.
yeah, exactly. And then he like traps the bad guys at the end of the day in like a Home Depot and manages to find ways to kill people with like nail guns and stuff in the store.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that movie again. It was just bad enough that I totally forgot about it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay,
another. He's another one that hasn't done a good movie in a long time.
let me think. Has he?
He really hasn't. I mean, he got. I don't know, like he became friends with Oprah or something, and he got into the mushy movies for a little while.
Yeah, but he always did that to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't hold that against the guy. I mean, but I'm trying to think. He has no. He did. He has to have done something good.
The
Jeez.
last good movie he was in was Book of Eli.
Oh no, but that was just him like angry black man who goes blind and quoting the Bible. That was the big difference this time around.
Right, but I mean that's what he does well. He might as well stick to it. I mean, come on, I mean, literally, that's what he's done since Man on Fire. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
that's like the epitome of mad black man. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
that's what it was. I mean, and it's a good movie. I mean, he does it well. Um, again,
No, I agree. I agree. I just wish that it wasn't so one liner. Because like if it was Adam Sandler, I'd say that's fine, right? But you know, guys like Liam Neeson, guys like Denzel, I think they can actually afford to do something better.
yeah, because they got the presence that if they wanted to do complex and new movies, they could. They just it's like they do these easier movies because
It pays the bills.
Yeah, because they know people are going to come watch the movies that have them kicking other people's asses. It's the reason why Tom Cruise can't give up Mission Impossible, because all of his other movies tank, so he has to make the money on the continuing the Mission Impossible series, even though he's like 60 years old.
Well, actually, you know what thing? Because you know, we're talking about sequels and stuff. And Tom Cruise has not only been doing the Mission Impossible franchise, but you know, he was supposed to be active. Remember, that's the reason why Universal gave him The Mummy, right? If you recall, did you ever watch The Mummy?
No, I saw the preview for it though.
Okay, so it's you know, spoiler alert here, but Universal, because the eminent domain, basically the fact that over a while, certain franchise or certain licenses to movie characters are exclusive to Universal. So like they are basically kind of like how the Justice League or Marvel is, you know, working on its portfolio of characters to make movie franchises out of. Universal has decided to take its monsters like the, you know, Dracula, Frankenstein, Werewolf, Wolfman, Invisible Man, the Mummy, Creatures from Black Lagoon. They're trying to take those characters to make them all into like a shared universe and make them into like this kind of monster franchise, like effectively. And they said, what better way can we do that than have like, you know, Tom Cruise serve as the Mummy. And spoiler alert, he becomes the Mummy at the end of the movie, right?
Okay.
So that's huge. And then they have Russell Crowe serving as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
As long as he doesn't sing, I'm okay.
Yeah, but the thing is that they're trying to spin all this stuff together. And the crazy thing is that we were expecting that this was going to be some like another kind of super franchise. And I think that it tanked, and Universal's decided to not make any more movies. I don't see anything on the horizon. They were supposed to come out with like you know, the werewolf and like the Invisible Man, and certainly Russell Crowe is supposed to have the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. I haven't seen head or tail of this, and given that they're investing so much into this kind of startup, I think that's scary that they pulled the plug on it just after one instance with Tom Cruise. And like, if you can't get it to work with Tom Cruise, that speaks volumes to the failure of that kind of potential franchise.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem is it's Tom Cruise. I mean, he just, I don't know, he has all of his movies. I mean, I think we've talked about this a lot. A lot of these actors that are like really have been around for a long time, they just are doing the same movie over and over again, and it just kind of burns out. Like I like the Jack Reacher books, right. And they made movies out of the first and second one, but they were terrible. I mean, it was another Tom Cruise movie, but it was just another Tom Cruise kicks a whole bunch of people's ass movie. Yeah, angry white dude.
But I think that the general audience really likes what they want. Likes what they already know, and that's why franchises like the Bourne Identity or the Bourne whatever have been able to just gain such traction, because it's like, or even the James Bond franchise, where it's like, we know what the formula is that makes people want to come in. And yeah, they're crappy, but you know what? People are going to come and pay and watch it. So whether it's Mission Impossible, whether it's Matt Damon, whether it's, you know, the Fast and the Furious movies, right? There are no real, you know, key plot twists. And don't get me wrong. These are not in any way thespian, you know, epitome of thespian greatness. It's just, simply put, stuff explodes, stuff gets, you know, it's typical eye candy, and people just pay to eat popcorn. That's all it is, right? So there's nothing especially great about these movies, and you know, they play it safe, and the studios are just not stupid. They know that this makes money, and that's what puts it through.
This is why I steal movies off from line. I will refuse to pay for movies. I'll watch something new if they want to send out something new. I pay for it, but if you're going to keep doing the same shit over and over again, why would I keep paying for it? Yeah, I'm the thief. I'm going to go to jail. It's okay. We'll keep doing the podcast while I'm in the slammer, and we'll have the big guy, Bubba, get on as a third guy when Ricky can't show up. All right. Just ignore the noises. Anyways, let's move on to video games. That went into a really dark place.
Yeah.
All right, so there are a couple of video games that I'm looking forward to. Red Dead
Oh,
Redemption 2 is coming out.
sorry, which game?
Red Dead Redemption 2
Okay.
is coming out. It's the one with it's like Grand Theft Horse. Um,
Yeah.
I love the first game.
Yeah.
The second game should be just as good. It's like a gigantic open world Western kind of thing. And my dad's a big Western guy, so I kind of got into it a little bit too. So I like that.
Okay.
That's probably gonna be the game that's gonna finally get me to buy a new console.
Mm.
So it's gonna be interesting. And there's a new Metal Gear that's coming out in February.
Wait. The new Metal Gear is it the one with the Vortex one?
All I know is the title. It's the Metal Gear Survive.
Survive, yeah. So it's a survival one where it's a Vortex one, and this is an interesting one. I don't think it will be very good, and it'll be the first time that you're going to see a Metal Gear game get absolutely slammed. Even though they're using the same architecture and the same assets from the most recent Metal Gear game, the fact of the matter is that Konami basically fired the guy that owns and created. His name is Hideo Kojima. They fired and let this guy go. And this is dramatic because how do you fire the guy that created the franchise and then say we're going to make a game based on that guy, the character, and instead of like being espionage and being all about like Metal Gear, what we're faced with now is crap. We got these assets. We can't string together a story. So it literally is. It's not following the main character of Snake. It's taking the same universe, but then it's not even doing that because it's transporting them into this alternate universe where there's zombies. Like it's just a total whack job of a game. It's like they said, look, man, people like Metal Gear. They don't care about the plot, and we're just gonna put zombies in because that's what sells. And we're gonna make a game, and that's what that game is, and that's why I thought that was kind of silly.
Mm.
The game that I am looking forward to though is it's the one with was it Reedus, the guy from Walking Dead. I can't remember Norm Reedus or something.
Don't know. I've never watched Walking Dead past the first season.
Okay, but basically they got the guy from Walking Dead, and they're taking him, and it's crap. I can't remember. It's the new game by Hideo Kojima, and it will be a typical Kojima game, weird characters and all that stuff. And that's going to be the one that I'm looking forward to because it's going to be like a completely. And PlayStation basically said, "Hey, Kojima, if Konami let you go, come join us." So it's going to be an exclusive PlayStation launch, and it's going to be interesting to see how this guy who's known to make like quirky but super cool games, he's going to go solo, and that's going to be really kind of cool to see how this game comes about. So that's probably one of the most anticipated games. And quite frankly, just coming back to the games that I'm looking forward to, nowadays, I'm not even sure because I was so looking forward to like Shadow of War, the Mordor sequel, and I got it right now, and I'm playing it. I'm playing it blindly. I'm just like, it's just like playing like downloadable content for the original game, which I mean, on one level is good, but it's like so uninspired and unoriginal. And the second thing is, just yesterday, the new Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out, and man, that has been getting killed in the ratings because it's like, oh, the loot system is broken and all that stuff. But I just want to play it for the story game, and because it's the first time that a Battlefront game will have a story now. And they said, oh, the story mode is like all of 6 hours, and it's still broken. And like my choice of upcoming games is always kind of like touch of death. And
is Battlefront 2 an EA movie or an EA game?
Yes, it is.
Well, that's the reason why it's broken. EA can't do anything right. I mean, every movie or every video game that they come out with that tries to do something new, it is broken. So, like, obviously, they do The Sims and SimCity, right? And both of those games, the last ones they came out with, were just totally broken. I mean, their servers were down almost constantly when they first came out. There are very limitations on what the downloadable content can do. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all that they came out with this kind of stuff that has problems. Then when they're moving into the whole micro payment thing,
microtransactions, yeah.
So I mean, it used to be you pay $60 for a video game and you could just go home and play it. But now you can't. You got to you pay $60 for a game, and then you still have to pay another, who knows how much, to actually be able to do half the things that the game's supposed to do. Which I just refuse to. I mean, I do it on mobile. I get some games money on mobile. But even that, so I play Clash Royale, which is like a tower defense game, like an online tower defense game. It's it's really fun, and I'm still into it. But I won't give it any more money because I know eventually I'm going to get sick of it. And then basically it's just a waste of money. Like, you know how obsessed I was with Hearthstone for like a year and a half. I still play it once in a while, but I will not give them any more money because it's just too expensive. So they come out with 3 expansions now every year. And if you wanted to get every card in those expansions, which you must have to do if you actually want to win games consistently, I mean, it'd be like $1,000. It's like, I'm not paying $1,000 for a game every year. It's just not. It's never, ever, ever going to happen. I could $1,000 in computer hardware every year is more likely to happen. Because that's something that actually provides a return on investment other than just entertainment. Stupid. I hate microtransactions. It's just stupid. Yeah. All right. So another one that I'm looking forward to in terms of games. Now, I played at a friend's house a little bit of Far Cry 4. Far Cry 5 is coming out. So what I thought, seeing as how I probably will be getting a new console because of Red Dead Redemption, which comes out late next year, I might get a little early and get the entire Far Cry series and see if I can't go through that, because that looks a lot of fun.
Wait, you can buy the whole series? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. I'm gonna have to pay for them individually, but I'll get like the first 4 of them used.
Okay, because I was gonna say they're coming with like an orange box kind of thing where it's like you can buy all the Far Cry games.
That'd be great because I also want to get some of the Halos, at least the early Halos, because just for nostalgic reasons to play those. So it'll probably be an Xbox that I get. So I'll probably get the Master Chief Collection or whatever if they still sell that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crappy games coming out, man. It's like they're redoing like Sonic, and Gran Turismo just came out with a new one, which is going to be terrible, I'm sure.
I think they've gone too focused on making the model super perfect and not actually like designing the game to be interesting.
Well, all right. So I've played probably 4 Gran Turismo games in my entire life, and I love Gran Turismo 2. It was fantastic. But then I didn't play another Gran Turismo game until Gran Turismo 6. And I mean, there's like, I don't know, almost 10 years between those games. And I swear to God, they were the exact same tracks. I mean, a racing game is a racing game, but I just want. I mean, it was better graphics, obviously, between like the PS2 and the Xbox 360. But it was the exact same. It was like it was taking you through Italy and things like that. I was like, I want something a little bit new. I mean, in 10 years, you should have innovated just a little bit, just a little bit. I don't know. All right, go ahead, Vince.
About the video games is that not very much games, but I'm actually just more looking forward to possibly grabbing a Switch, just because it seems like I was really skeptical of the Switch at first. I thought it was going to be another Wii U kind of garbage console, and I thought it was a death knell for Nintendo. But man, oh man, like you look at the games that come out, like they did it smart. Nintendo might be on its rebound. The Breath of the Wild, the new Super Mario Odyssey, those games got perfect ratings across the board. They are great, beautiful graphic franchises. There's nostalgia in there. I'm actually tempted to get it just to make sure I get a sense of like these epic games. And despite the fact that there's like literally 3 or 4 titles that are coming out next year for the Switch that are actually of interest to me. It might be actually worth getting just because it's like a good portable / home console.
Yeah, it's like a slightly more expensive 3DS that also has the ability to hook up to a television. I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, I like having a portable game system. I love the Vita. And if that didn't use proprietary game software or whatever, and was kind of terrible in terms of software and UI experience, but I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, the thing. What's funny is about Nintendo's, they kind of do the whole on-off thing. Like they have a really great console, and then their next console will be terrible, right? So they had the Wii, and everybody loved the Wii, even though it was, it was very childish.
Yeah.
Then they had the Wii U, and everybody hated it. And now they have the Switch, and then the what comes next will probably be terrible. And then it's kind of off and on. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel bad for them, man.
Well, the problem with doing it that way is not having a hit every time is that they can't draw in the developer support consistently. Like, so they can't bring in the big AAA franchises like Call of Duty and things like that, which are going to draw in your hardcore multiplayer gaming people.
Yeah.
And I don't think I think that they finally decided that they just didn't want that audience anyways, and just stuck with what they know. The Mario crowd, the Zelda crowd, people like that. I mean, people who are okay having the gaming experience in their hands. You know what I mean? Instead of on their big screen television, it doesn't require sitting in one place for hours and hours on end.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, at the same time, they pay a price for that innovation. And I think that honestly, I thought they were going to lose their market share if they haven't done so already outright. And I thought they were going to be obscure and into oblivion. But now, they're a bit of a resurrection. And like, yeah, you're still right. There's still always a generation behind on the technology side relative to like the PlayStation, the Xboxes of the world. But I mean, the most recent console has proven that they can actually step it up. So. We'll see how they work this year.
Well, then they might be they're in a perfect position to kind of carry on and continue growing, because I think that Microsoft and Sony are kind of biting themselves in the ass by releasing new consoles so often. So like the Xbox 360 went, 10 years without a major revision, and they've already,
wow.
I mean, right?
2 consoles a year.
And now they seem to be doing a new console every couple of years, and people don't want to go out and spend $400 on a new console every couple of years, especially when it takes them a whole bunch of times to make previous games backwards compatible, like Microsoft's been doing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap. Go ahead, Vince. What were you gonna say, real quick?
I was gonna say we'll see, because I don't know about the video game industry. I think it's gonna be a really tough ride for the incumbents. I think the new guys like Nintendo are going to make a good dent, but I think the incumbents like the Microsofts and the PlayStations of the world, they're going to be fighting it out in a very saturated space.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do so. I'm at MTWB on Twitter. Vince is VWHUI. Ricky, who was not with us tonight, is Ricky_Williams1. You can contact us at email@the3cast.com. At the 3cast on Twitter, facebook.com/the3cast if you want to like us on Facebook. We are not doing picks of the week anymore. That was it's no fun when I'm the only one doing it, right? So
sorry.
It's okay. I'm on a podcast with two geezers. We don't try new things. It's okay. It's all right. You're like what, 75 years old now, Vince?
78.
Something like that?
Yeah,
right.
On,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I missed your birthday again. Happens every week. Anyways, that is it for us this time. Our I have no clue what we're going to be talking about next time. We're going to be finally getting into the iPhone X, which is something Ricky wants to talk about. Which I think we're gonna discuss that for about 5 minutes and then have to move on to something else, because I have about 10 words to say about the iPhone X.
Well, no one can afford it. I actually have one of my colleagues. He has it, and he pulled it out, and I was like, Jesus, man, that thing's. It was like so shiny. I was like, holy crap! I didn't realize how just chromy it looked.
I'm surprised you didn't go to an Apple store and carve your initials into one, Vince.
No, not this time around, because they banned me. But it was just really weird. This guy pulled it out, and I was like, seriously, dude, you bought that, man? I know prof salaries, man. Jesus.
Yeah, it's way too expensive. I'm really interested in the OnePlus 5T. I think that's going to end up being my next phone. Anyways, if we don't talk about the iPhone X, we're going to talk about a Jason Statham movie called Chaos. And I'm deliberately choosing this knowing that it's a terrible movie.
Thanks.
And we're going to watch it, and then I think we're going to lead that into a discussion of our most terrible movies. And why does Matt like Jason Statham movies? Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know, because all of his movies are terrible, Vince.
Damn it, man.
Every single one of his movies are bad.
Wasting my life, man. You're wasting my life. All the remaining 2 years.
Hey, you want to know what? I did this more to pay back Ricky for that whole After Earth thing. Anyways, that is it for us this time. We'll be back next time. We'll see you then.
All right. Take care.